Paul asked us for advice on what they should do against a couple who duped them into the business that they entered into. According to Paul, in the year 2011, 5 of their high school friends had formed a corporation to put up a resto bar in Pasig City. When the corporation was set up, Paul and his brother entered into a memorandum of agreement with them to invest a sum of money for operations expenses of the resto bar with a promise of return of investment. The setup was such that all of the partners in the business will receive dividends as their income or return of their investment. The one who stood as managing partner and finance officer was one of their friends and his girlfriend. The group noticed that a year had passed and no dividends were declared by the managing partner. The group noticed that the managing partner and the finance officer had been going abroad several times since the time that they had put up their business. When the group demanded for the financial statements and books of account, the managing partner and his girlfriend continuously failed to provide any. It came to a point that the managing partner and the finance officer stepped down without proper turnover of any documents and no bank statements. The remaining partners were forced to run the resto bar by themselves and hired an external auditor to investigate the matter. The group eventually discovered that there were no books of account and the bank account was almost empty, despite the fact that more than pesos was placed in the corporation for operating expenses. They discovered that the resto bar incurred arrearages with the lessor of the place. The employees were not paid their social insurance benefits and suppliers were not paid. The group was forced to close the restaurant down sometime in March. Paul is now asking if there is a way to recover their hard-earned money from these two people. Should they file estafa or qualified theft? According to Paul, when they tried to demand for payment, the two perpetrators haughtily told them that they cannot file a case against them because they have relatives who are in politics and are in fact running for a local elective position in one of the provinces of Balitaan. Paul, it is important that you understand the difference between estafa and theft in order for you to decide which action you will institute against these people. According to a similar case decided by the Supreme Court, in general, the crime of estafa is distinguished from that of theft by the manner in which the offender in each case acquires possession of the property. The estafador receives the property or possession of the property while the thief takes without the owner's consent the possession of the latter's property. There are, however, instances where even if the property misappropriated was received by the offender, the misappropriation will constitute theft and not estafa. In such cases, distinction should be made whether the offender, on receiving the property, acquired the material possession alone, or the material and juridical possession, or the material and juridical possession plus the ownership of the property. In the case of People versus Aquino, it was said that where only the material possession is transferred, conversion of the property gives rise to the crime of theft. Where both material and juridical possessions are transferred, misappropriation of the property would constitute estafa. And where, in addition to the material possession of the ownership of the property is transferred, misappropriation would only give rise to a civil obligation. It is our humble opinion, though, that since your intent is to ensure the immediate recovery of the money you have invested, you may also want to explore the idea of filing a civil case for the recovery of the sum of money with prayer for rep levin. That way, you may pray to the court to issue an order attaching properties that can secure the amount that was lawfully and unlawfully from you. Please be reminded that our opinion is based solely on the details you have provided us. You are free to consult a lawyer of your choice regarding your legal concerns. Thank you for your trust in People's Television. Email us at ptv4newscenter@gmail.com. This is Attorney Jimeno Atienza for the Rule of Law.